Hello, my lovelies. We're going to do some shadow work. So this is something that I'm not going to include probably every single week in the daily lineup, in the weekly lineup on the channel, but I am going to include it periodically because I think it's important. We're all at different stages on our healing journey, so it's a good thing to actually have. So I've already pre-shuffled and I've got the cards out. So I feel like there are a lot of major changes that are coming in the collective. Today is 8/8, it's the Lionsgate portal. There's another reading up all about that one and what to expect in the next 8 weeks. However, in the current time frame, I feel like there are a lot of things, a lot of obstacles in our path, and so we're going to have to overcome those challenges. Part of that is sticking up for ourselves and really defending ourselves, our boundaries, and also letting go of things that maybe are no good for us. Lots of conflicts, lots of arguments. And apparently I can't talk because we're in Mercury in retrograde. So I feel like we have had to face a lot of challenges. We've also had to make some really hard decisions. And some of those we needed to remove ourselves from because it wasn't good for us, especially where there's been a lot of conflict. I feel like there's been a lot of financial challenges along the way. And so again, if it's affecting your money, then it's something that we don't want to keep, right? So we also are going to have to get into this flow state for things to change. Part of that is, are we doing the work? Are we really focusing our energy where it needs to be on things that are important, practical matters? Are you putting in all the effort that's required in order to make things change? The other thing I see is that there's this kind of doom and gloom mentality here. So that's also something that needs to change. But I feel like there's been some rejection, or there's been some sort of ending within a love situation. I feel like it needed to in order to go towards your peace. And so expect the unexpected, because I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised when these new offers come in. However, this person might be playing a little bit of, they're giving me the words tit for tat, or somebody could be playing games, and I feel like they're playing against a master. I feel like whoever this person is that's challenging this other person has no idea who exactly they're dealing with. The other thing I see with this is that the person who is playing the games is about to get played. So we're playing chess, not checkers here. I feel like this person really sees things very black and white, very much for what they are, and they aren't easily manipulated. And so if that has happened to this person in the past, I feel like they now have learned many hard lessons and they see the writing on the wall. Unfortunately, it's also left this person a little bit jaded. I feel like this person is listening to maybe things that they don't need to be, or people who are kind of in their ear talking a bunch of stuff to them, and it's not helping the situation. I feel like this person's also maybe an overthinker, and so they've decided, they've made a conscious decision that if they can't find what they're looking for, then they will give it to themselves and they will do things alone, and that's totally okay. The problem is that we've got to get out of this negative energy with the Empress in the shadow, because she's not somebody who's actually in her divinity that way. She's closed off, she's jaded, she's somebody who is hurt, so she's going to hurt others in the process, and that's not where you want to be. So something's got to change. Things are improving financially, so don't lose hope that it's possible, but you've got to make changes along the way. And remember that you're not the center of the fucking universe, so the world does not revolve around you. In this energy, it does. So whatever's happening in your world, I feel like it's really important that you take a long, hard look in the mirror, and if something needs to change, you hold all the power to do that. So what else is changing for us? All right, we have the Queen of Coins again. In this energy, she's very, they're giving me the word studious. She's a hard worker. She's going towards her goals. She could be a mentor for others. She's working on building an empire, building her legacy. I feel like there's been a lot of conflicts and she desires peace. And so that is what she's going towards. She's leaving behind the things that bring her conflict and agony. She's going towards something even if she's got to wait for it to happen. So I feel like she's made a decision that she will no longer settle for what she doesn't want. She desires somebody with a strong connection, somebody who's genuine, who's honest. And I feel like, what was I saying? She's going to be pleasantly surprised. I feel like that's coming in. I think there's some unexpected communication happening. This could happen around work. Maybe that's how they encounter each other, is through work, some sort of social activity. But I do feel like this takes this person by surprise. This person has been working on themselves. They've been doing the shadow work. They've kind of gone within. They've maybe retreated. I think both parties have, because when there was this rejection, I feel like what happened was it was a setback that actually is setting them up for future success, but they had to kind of retreat in order to regroup and see things differently before they could actually gain that victory. There is some positive changes coming in this situation. You are going away from the things that are no good for you and towards things that are better. Why? Divine intervention. So like a phoenix, you're going to rise from these challenges. Know that Spirit sees everything you're going through, and they're going to reward all the hard work, if there's hard work, and change with something that is positive. The question is, are you willing to change things in your life? Are you willing to take a step in a new direction, transform the energy, take a leap of faith, and trust that things will work out? Or are you very guarded? Again, there is some sort of communication that's coming in, but I feel like you're a little guarded, especially around money. Are you hoarding resources because there's this lack mentality? That has got to shift. We're in a state of abundance with the universe. When we are in alignment, things start to flow. Go check out the other message. It's going to explain exactly what I mean. All right, the Six of Swords. Are you ready to step into a whole new world where maybe things do revolve around you, where maybe you are the center of that universe? Because you do have an unexpected offer that is going to come in. The question is, are you ready for it? I feel like a lot of you are going to be like, nope, not doing it. I don't care. But it's coming regardless. So I feel like Spirit's trying to prepare you and tell you it's time to release the things in your life that aren't working, because there's opportunities that are trying to come in, but you might be blocking those out of fear. So it's important that you do the healing and the shadow work. It's important you walk away from what's blocking your abundance, whether it's people, jobs, situations, mindsets. Those are all things that you have the power to leave behind. And people who tell me, well, I can't just up and leave. You can make a plan to actually do that. It doesn't have to be an overnight once and done, but you absolutely can make a plan to actually leave what's not serving you. The question is, do you want to? So let's see, bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers. Again, there's something here that I feel like you're gonna have to make a decision on. I feel like this person's coming in. I feel like they're gonna make kind of a reckless move. Some of them, it might be like an abrupt message very quickly. We need to talk, I need to see you, something like that. But this person is coming forward with communication. So trust your instincts. And if you aren't, you need to. It's going to require strength. You might feel really weak in this. This might be kind of your kryptonite coming in. So decide how you proceed forward. But we need to get kind of creative here, or this person's trying to get creative because they don't want to be shot down again. I feel like this other person is somebody who can be kind of cutthroat, and there's some sort of divine intervention to kind of help mellow that. So I feel like Spirit wants you to at least hear this person out. It took a lot of courage for them to come forward, especially after an ending or a rejection or an argument. So at least hear what they have to say. There is the need for an ending in order to create this new beginning. And I feel like you might, they might want to win at all cost, and so that could be kind of a hollow victory here. I also feel like there needs to be some stability, especially in finances. So again, we've got to shift that lack mentality, and that is what creates the balance instead of the imbalance. All right, this person has evolved from a knight to a king, but they're still not quite where they need to be. I feel like this person is getting really creative on how they approach you, what's going to be said, but again, reckless decisions still being made. So we need to make better decisions, especially with our finances right now. I feel like somebody is not willing to put in the effort, and that's why the rejection happened in the first place. And somebody is reclaiming their power. They've decided enough is enough. They're not going to keep playing these games. They want to go forward in a new direction. And so needing to take a leap of faith, again, watch out for making reckless choices right now. This is an indication that you've got to look before you leap, or there could be a major fall. Somebody is doing their shadow work or needs to. I feel like this person may have cut off the rest of the world right now in order to find their confidence and their courage to come forward, because things have been delayed long enough and they desire to get out of their head and go forward in a new direction because they are heartbroken without this other person. All right, what else do we need to know? What's the outcome of this reading? All right, financial improvements are coming in, so that's a blessing. You need to share the wealth with others. There we go, the Divine Feminine. She's transforming the energy. Remember that she transmutes what is not working. The illusions will be revealed so you can make a clear decision. If things have been clouded, you will see it for what it is. And you are going to cut off what is not serving your highest good. I feel like for some of you, you might have somebody that's helping you. It could be a partnership. We have the King and the Queen of Swords here. Both of these people are usually kind of seen as tyrants or really grumpy. I mean, they're a match here, so they kind of feed off of each other's instability. And I feel like that is something that you realize has to end. It could be financial issues as well, but I feel like it's like the mask falls off. The rose-colored glasses are not there anymore, so you see the truth for what it is. There's the changes that are coming in. It could be abrupt for some of you. Remember that the Tower is symbolic for things needing to transform because it's not working. So we've got to change what doesn't work. The Devil. Are we going to go round and round on this cycle, or are we finally going to close that chapter for good? I feel like there's lots of options here for you to choose from. And so you are looking for stability, so don't settle for less. There are new opportunities of abundance coming in. Again, things have to change to get there, but what might start small leads to a lot of success in the future. The question is, are you going to share it with people who are no good for you, or are you going to make wise decisions and only share it with people who really matter? All right. I do think that there are some obstacles in your way when it comes to finances for the next little bit. So there could be a lot of frustrations. Know that things are going to change for the better, but you've got to stop overthinking it and see the truth for what it is. You need some boundaries. You also need to make some changes, and you also need to trust your intuition instead of falling back into old repetitive cycles. So start planning and setting some goals. Don't just bite off more than you can chew. There is a new love offer that's coming in for you. You will have to make a decision about the future, but it does look like it leads to your ultimate happiness. You have the Ten of Coins and the Ten of Cups. So are you willing to establish some sort of boundaries and let go of what isn't serving you and trust where you're being led, or are we doomed to repeat the same cycle? You have a choice to make. Make it wisely.